Good morning, everybody. Today is October 20th, 2023. And so this is the 19th day that I'll be running for 1 mile nonstop continuously. And I woke up so far 4 times at 11 p.m., 12 a.m., about 1 a.m. and then 3 a.m. And this last time that I woke up at 3 a.m., I didn't find myself falling back asleep. It's now 3:56 in the morning. So once again, I didn't really get a great night's sleep. And I talk about things like trying to recharge in areas where the energy has been challenging. And recently, I've just had the sentiment or the feeling that people aren't quite hearing what I'm saying without getting aggravated. Like when I mentioned having to audition for a faith-based band by learning 4 songs that seem like the least important part of joining a group to talk about topics that have to do with faith. I feel that the persons who might be hearing those videos could potentially be getting offended. When I talk about not receiving checks in the mail that were due to me, and how just the mere act of sharing faith-based topics can cause rifts. When I talk about those things, sometimes on some nights, I feel like my sleep becomes less than ideal. So on this channel, here on October 20th, if you're seeing this, it's because I basically went ahead and uploaded this and shared it today, the same day it was recorded. But I only shared it because I successfully made it to my destination. If you look at the artwork around me, you might see ocotillos, storm clouds on the horizon. There's even a mountain lion behind me. Basically, I'm drawing from nature. Drawing from nature. Have you ever felt like you could draw energy from nature? Well, if you're seeing this, and that's what I'm doing, in one of my favorite places on earth, in West Texas. And I'm doing that because of the shared energy that I feel has not currently been working in favor of someone like me who is talking about these idiosyncrasies, and for whatever reason, who's being met with many people who are either indifferent to some of these topics, indifferent enough that you're not seeing conversations For an example, if you click on the comments area, indifferent enough that you're seeing strange amounts of views on some of the videos that are not commensurate with some of the other channels of a supposedly similar make and model. So there are very unique attributes that we all have, and the way that we're all built will definitely differ from being to being, from person to person. What doesn't differ though is basic emotion. For an example, I don't need to know your language in order to communicate gratitude. I'm happy. I feel challenged, but that doesn't stop me from sharing the good news. For whatever reason, just wanting to do that can cause some pretty good challenging situations. However, so I've got to caution you, if you haven't started a channel to talk about and share the knowledge, if you haven't started a chapter, a group, or even just a weekly group message thread among your peers, you may never know that you might be in a rut. And if you're in a rut, you need to consider you might be on the wrong path, because the gates to ruin are wide and the path is well worn, it's well traveled. The path to salvation, if you want to use that word, is very narrow. And the gate is narrow as well. I've gone over a half mile now. I'm at 0.56 miles. And I'm just going at a leisurely pace. I haven't been able to push myself, because if I'm waking up repeatedly, I'm not really entering a sound sleep. So the ability to recharge has been significantly reduced. I believe today there'll be a video that I recorded maybe a couple of days ago where you can see that I was having a greater struggle finishing my sentences. And part of that was because I'd waken up at least 12 times. The night after that, yesterday night, I only really woke up one time. But after some communication back and forth with what I believe should have been sensible encounters, sensible co-creators, I was met with not being able to sleep well. Spiritual battles are things that we can remain asleep throughout, or we can be awakened to the calling. If you're watching this video, I hope that you're clicking on the thumbs up. I hope that you've considered subscribing, maybe even sharing, especially if you have prayer groups. If you have prayer groups where you can help share requests for goodwill, positive energy, please don't hesitate to share any of the content that you see here, even if it's just to showcase lessons learned as far as how not to accomplish certain things. In my friends and family group, in my business, I try to make sure to tell all of the details, all of the good news, even in among the challenging news, so that we can make a proper assessment of what exactly we need to do to accomplish the tasks that have been assigned to us, the co-creators. We can try to separate the groups out, never once giving credit to where credit is due. We can follow people that love to use the law of attraction, who may never share the wealth. But wouldn't you feel a little bit shorted if someone else knew something? They saw the trouble coming. They saw an aspect that we were overlooking. Wouldn't you feel shorted if that person didn't share the insight with us? Like, you've ever seen that commercial? Someone's walking to a meeting and they have associates around them. They just walked out of the bathroom and they're dragging toilet paper from their heel. Well, someone removes that. And then when the presenter gets to their meeting, they smile at the beginning. Big smile, great big smile. And they've got a bright green piece of leafy greens in their teeth, because nobody caught that. Or haven't you ever run into a situation where you've looked a little bit off and someone didn't tell you you had something on your face, you had food, or something in your hair, or your shirt was buttoned a certain way? Or is it more often people just pointing out, why are you wearing that? Why did you do this in that room? Or why are you trying to change anything? It's more likely that we're all running into circumstances where people don't want us to change. They want us to conform. That's a dangerous place to be. For me, we're at 14 minutes and 15 seconds. And I've just completed my 19th day of running another nonstop continuous mile. And it's 4:10 in the morning, approximately. I'm calibrating my run on this device. Since I'm not on a track, the GPS is off. It says I went 0.96 miles, but I went one full mile according to the treadmill here. My next few days will be something I can measure with a GPS in the middle of nowhere even, but I will not have a phone signal for much of that time frame. So I'll be 100% focused in nature, and with the power of prayer and fasting, something that might have been recommended by some of those proponents of peace, I'm going to do everything I can to restore my health to the point where I can at least get a good night's sleep. So if you're sleeping well, express gratitude for that upon waking. If you're sleep challenged, like many of us are, especially at the hours of between 12 and 4 in the morning, if you're challenged, don't forget, you can always wake up and do something about it and not feel as drained if you do something beneficial. Prayer and fasting, exercise, all those things factor into how we function. Once we're functioning properly, we can help the things in our surrounding vicinity. For right now, I've been doing everything I can to help people to communicate properly, and I've been trying to do so without raising insecurities. So if this video made you think and ponder what it is that we're doing among one another, again, don't forget, click on the thumbs up, enter some comments into the description, into the comments area, and maybe consider subscribing. I've been trying to build this channel for a long time. In the beginning, I didn't really talk as much about the spiritual aspect of how things go, but I would like to share the knowledge because I know what this approach has brought to me in my life. Even though I'm talking about some challenges, that doesn't mean that things have gotten worse. It just means that I'm on the right path. And whenever you're on the right path, you're going to be challenged a little bit more than you were before, because there is a side that's here to kill, steal, and destroy that doesn't want you to continue on the correct path, the one where you're not in the rut, just kind of ambling along. So I hope that makes sense. Again, if you're seeing this, obviously I made it to where I was going, and at least in this physical realm. And until next time, peace, love, and all that old school stuff.